Hello, you're welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to be talking about trending market. You remember that when we were talking about when we started market structure, we spoke about three major types of market um, based on their behavior. And the first one that we spoke about is trending market. So in this lesson, we are going to be talking extensively on trending market. Okay. Now, whenever you open your chart, the first place you need to start looking at is actually the left of that chart. Okay. The left side of that chart is the first place you want to look at because that is actually where what has happened in the recent past or in the past is actually more like being recorded. The market is actually telling you from the left side exactly what it's been doing over a period of time. Okay, so when a market is moving in one general direction from the left to the right on the chart, from the left hand side to the right hand side on the chart, either up or down, it is called a trend or a market bias. So you can actually call it, okay, fine, what is the trend? Or you can say, what is the market bias? You are still saying the same thing, okay? So the market can actually, can be moving up and it can actually be moving down, all right? So if a market is moving up, you call that kind of market an uptrend or a bullish trend, of course. These are the terms we use in the market. When price is generally moving up, you call that kind of market a bullish market or you call it an uptrend market. Now, when the market is moving down, you call that kind of market that it is actually in downtrend or you call it a bearish trend. All right. So now, so generally you can actually, when you see a trending market, you can say, okay, fine, this market is okay, I'm actually my bias is bullish or my bias is bearish. Now when you're saying that my bias is bullish, you are saying that, okay, fine, you from what you can see, the market is actually moving up, is rallying up, I mean, is rallying to the upside. Or when price is actually, plummeting to the downside, that is actually breaking the former supports, and you're like, okay, fine, this my bias is what? My bias is bearish on that market, based on what is breaking what. If price is breaking the former support, you know that the market is bearish. But if market is breaking the former resistance, you know the market is what? Is bullish. All right. So the easiest and most effective way to identify a trend is simply by observing the price action from left to right, like I have told you the other time. So all right. So, on the basis of what we've learned when we're talking about the concept of support and resistance. So, as the market moves higher or lower, its previous turning points or swing points become reference points that we can use to help us determine the trend of a market. If you paid attention in the class where we spoke about support and resistance, we actually talked about where price actually gets to and price begins to rally up. We call that place support point, and where price and the point that price gets to and begins to move down, we call that place what? Resistance. Now we now say if there is another move that breaks a resistance, for example, we now can now say that, okay, fine, based on this behavior, the market is what? Is in an uptrend. If it's actually doing that consistently, right? You can say, okay, fine, the market is what? Is generally in the uptrend. But at the other hand, if the price is actually breaking the former resistance, or sorry, breaking the former support, you can say, okay, the market is what? Is basically in the downtrend. All right, is actually in the downtrend, right? So The trending markets are simply characterized by a repeating pattern of higher highs and higher low in an uptrend market. Okay, so that is another thing you really need to, you really need to pay attention to. So this is actually another way of explaining what I've actually explained in that other video where we spoke about market structure. Now, when you are in an uptrend, you are having a series of higher highs and higher lows. When you are in a downtrend, you'll be seeing lower high and lower low in a downtrend, and I'm going to show you how that looks again in a moment. Okay, now, as you can see from this chart, from this diagram rather, you can see that price actually from this point, price began to rally to the upside, and it got to this particular point and found resistance at that point, and it corrected a little bit to the downside. Now we said that this is the highest, right? This is the high, and we can say, okay, this is an higher high, right? So the price came to form, to this particular place before it found another support, and it actually moved to the upside, breaking through the former resistance. Okay, now, since this particular point did not break out, the support down here, we now say that this is an higher high, this is an higher low. Now this one is also forming a new high. Okay, this new high is also what? An higher low. Sorry, an higher high. The price got to this point, found some resistance, moved to the downside to find a new support. Okay, to find a new support before it moved impulsively to the upside, breaking through the this recent resistance. Okay, now this particular support where that price moved is what we call another higher low. So in an uptrend, you're going to be having a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, up and on like that until the market changes its direction. All right. So let's really look at a downtrend. In a downtrend, you actually have the opposite of what happens in the uptrend. Downtrend is simply the opposite. Now, in this case, you can see that price actually starts, dropping from here. This is the resistance point where price began to what? To drop. Now, price dropped into this particular place and found a support, and price rallied up but couldn't, break through the resistance point where this large impulsive move began from. It simply just retraced a little bit, and price plummeted again to the downside. So this is your lower low, this is a low point, this is a lower high. Okay, this is a lower high, and the price simply just plummeted to the downside again to form another low. Now this new low is what we refer to as a lower low, and the price just corrected a little bit again, and to form another what? To form a new high at this particular point. But this new high could not take out the former high. Just because it couldn't take out the former high before it began to plummet to the downside. Now we call this one what? A lower low. So in a downtrend, what you have is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, on and on like that. Okay, so basically this is what happens in a downtrend, right? It's just like exactly what we have actually what we have spoken about. All right, so price actually started rallying from here. it rallied to the upside, and there was a move to the downside. But this particular place was not taken out, more like it's forming an equal what? An equal low. You know, it's the support is there. Price simply just came to this particular place. Let me, this is your support, all right? Now, price came back to that support. Price simply just, move on and found a resistance at this point, and price came to that support. Again, the price began to move. Now, in this case, what you see is what here is equal lows, okay? They found support at that particular point. Now, price simply just came back again here and found another resistance, and it began to plummet to the downside. This time around, the resistance here did what? Simply just broke through the support to the downside, okay? The support is broken. Now we can say that, oh, a downtrend actually what is actually starting. Now there was there is a pullback, or we call something that we call correction, or you can call it pullback, you can call it correction, you can call it retracement. You're still saying the same thing. And there's a retracement, that came here but couldn't take out this particular, resistance point. Just came there, and and price again plummeted to the downside, breaking the support again. Okay, so in this particular case, you can say that, okay, why we are in a downtrend. Okay, a downtrend. All right. Okay, so this is how it looks on a chart. All right, like I'm telling you the other time, this is how it looks on the chart. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to continue in the next one. See you in the